Hello, my name is Jimmy and welcome to the 2020 Toyota Highlander. The Highlander is very, very important. It is the best-selling three-row SUV on the market today. So if you compare like Honda Pilot, CX-9, well, you just can't. This is the best. In fact, it outsells the Sienna, which is an actual people mover 3-1. Well, for the statistics for 2019 in US anyways. So that's pretty impressive. For 2020, it's completely reimagined, redesigned from the ground up. So let's take a look at what Toyota has given us. Looks-wise, well, it's hard to say. It's up to you guys how you think about it. I mean, looks are subjective after all. Personally, I think it's good. It's a little bland, like most Toyotas are, but I think it'll age with time. The Kia Telluride or the Hyundai Palisade, it's just not going to age as well comparing to this. Because if you look at like a first or even second generation Highlander, it still looks decent today. It looks like it was like a last year's model. I particularly like the headlights on this specific platinum trim. LED on the front, LED out back. There's a very nice curve that's on the side of the body as well. Platinum exclusive 20-inch wheels are also really smart and nice looking. Honestly, there's nothing to complain about from the exterior. It looks the part of a people mover, and that's really what this SUV is all about. And being a people mover, one of the things that you have to have is, well, a lot of space. A swift kick under the rear bumper opens a tailgate to reveal 16 cubic feet of space here. It's larger by 2.2 compared to the previous generation, and there's even a little bit of underfloor storage. It fits a tonneau cover in here, which is also a nice touch. Manually folding down the third row expands to 48.4 cubic feet, and if you fold down that, then 84.3. There's plenty of storage for all, and it's actually a really good place. The only thing is the Sienna, definitely going to be bigger, but this is an SUV, so it's a little bit higher riding. Let's jump into the third row first. It's nowhere near as large as a van would be, but it's not horrible. I'm 5'11", and getting back here can be a little bit of a struggle, but once you get into the third row, it's okay. I would say anyone that's under 5 foot tall, you really wouldn't have any problems, but for me, just a little too tall for back here. Moving to the second row, there's plenty of space here. You can move fore and aft, and there's tons of space to accommodate either the second or the third row by just sliding that seat. One thing I did find though is if you need to fold down that second row seat, you have to pull two levers in order for you to fold it down. Not as convenient as some other manufacturers. But it's nice back here. On this platinum trim, I have heated seats. There's also shades on the side to block out the sun whenever you don't want it, so the kiddos can sleep back there with ultimate comfort. As for the front seat, more of that ultimate comfort. The seats are heated, they're cooled on this trim, they're super soft as well. It's really, really comfortable. As for what's in front of the driver, it's actually really nice. There's a mixture of like this brown leather on top, lighter brown leather on the bottom, wood grain, aluminum chrome trim, gloss black, and this other kind of faux carbon fiber texture. It's a weird mix, but it actually kind of works. It looks good in here. I don't look at this and think anything's out of place. The 12.3-inch screen on this platinum trim is amazing. I love this screen. On anything other than the top trim, you only get an 8-inch unit, so definitely not as big as this. But all these buttons here are going to get all gummy and just dirty really, really quick. The volume knob, like most Toyotas, is not stepped, so it's kind of just, well, infinitely variable, whereas the tuning knob is just an odd thing, but it is what it is. It does have Apple CarPlay and new for Toyota Android Auto. I like the additional cubbies as well. There's a cubby on the left, there's a cubby in the center for my phone with a pass-through for my cable, which is nice. There's a cubby on the far right for the passenger. There's space in the center and Qi wireless charger and more space in the center. It's really, really nice in here, and they thought it through for a family's needs because, well, you just want to pile everything into the vehicle as much as you can, and you certainly can with all the space that's in here. On the road, the Highlander drives as it should. It's quiet, it's composed, it's everything you want an SUV to be. It kind of drives like a van though, it's just soft and squishy. If you are looking for a more, well, exhilarating driving experience in an SUV, you can definitely look at, well, Porsches and whatnot. But in the same league, the CX-9 is actually a much better, kind of that driver-orientated vehicle. But That's not what Toyota's about, and they absolutely hit it on the mark with this. In terms of power, this specific example we have here is the 3.5 liter V6. It makes 295 horse and 263 pound-feet of torque. It's a good motor overall. Paired with the 8-speed automatic, I don't really have complaints on it. It does what it needs to do. It is a little lacking on the low end side, but compared to turbo motors, which just has that additional punch, it's just not as exciting as it could be. But what you can expect is 20 miles per gallon in the city and 26 on the highway. If you opt for the hybrid variant, you can get 34 and 32. A few things that I noticed while driving the Highlander though. First is the cluster. It's a little bit lower and slanted than, well, other vehicles. So when I'm looking at it, I'm actually looking a little bit further down. That may become a problem, but on this trim, I actually have a heads-up display, which is really, really nice. It actually has a tack on there, which no one will ever look at, to be very honest. If you're buying a Highlander, you're not looking at the heads-up display for a tack. It does have speed and some safety information as well, which is always a good part, but that tack is definitely odd. Only thing is, if you are wearing polarized sunglasses, you may not be able to see that heads-up display as clearly as you were without. It does block out that heads-up display just a tiny bit. Other nice oddities is this rear view mirror. Instead of just a traditional mirror, I mean, it can be, but it's also a camera. So you can flip the button and it activates a camera on the rear trunk. Unlike some other manufacturers where they have that camera mounted a little bit higher or even inside the vehicle, in the Highlander, it's just on the outside, just right where the number plate would be. But when you're looking back at it, especially when looking at maybe a higher vehicle, you're looking at grille, which is kind of odd because you should have a higher perspective than what this shows you. I mean, day-to-day driving, you're fine. It's just when you're in traffic, it's just a little odd. Speaking of cameras, this has a very, very good 360 camera. Front, side, rear view, excellent. There's really no complaints about the camera system on this car. And that's probably because it has a really good safety suite as well. Toyota has standard safety suite on all their vehicles. And on this, you get forward collision warning, lane keep assist, everything is standard. It's not as good as the one I found in the Palisade. It was just a little bit better in terms of keeping you in the lane and keeping you in behind of the vehicle in front. But it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's like awful or anything like that. It's a good system, just not an excellent one. Overall, the Highlander is a really, really good vehicle. It doesn't necessarily have to excel at everything. It's just very good at everything. And that's why it's a leader. It's a sales leader for that specific reason. And probably because it has a hybrid variant, because it's good on gas, it's good overall, and it's a perfect van. I mean, SUV that you can really, really get. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video if you do. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of the Highlander versus the Pilot, Palisade, Telluride, CX-9, and whatever else that's available that's out there. In any case, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care.